Move this one. Or
No,
we can ask them to.
it's just fine.
Yeah, that's better.
Shall I have Bhagwan in there as well or no? Sorry. So you can have screen there or you can have Bhagwan there, which I mean, you can do that.
Yeah, both.
Both? You the screen as well?
No, have they? That's
Is that okay?
I think. Oh, the screen, you mean this one? Yeah, let's do that. Sorry.
I don't think it will not be clear on this.
It won't? Okay.
Let's leave the screen out, I think, if you don't mind.
You
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
It's actually live at the moment, by the way. It's actually live already, yeah? You've got the link now, Sachi, right? It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Shall we send it to you?
You posted.
On official?
Yeah.
Hello.
There you go.
Yeah, perfect. Hari Bol, everyone. Namaskar. I would like to extend a warm welcome to Brahmachari Shri Priyaji. Thank you for coming to the temple. You've been here before, and welcome again. Thank you so much. Please give her a big round of applause to welcome her. Thank you. My name is Sachin, and I'm one of the volunteer sevaks in this mandir. Today it's a very special day because in the morning we had 27 Hanuman Chalisas recited, just about, which concluded about half an hour back, at about 3:30. And in this mandir we do Hanuman Chalisa every Saturday, 27 times. Today was a special day because a devotee was celebrating their 20th wedding anniversary, and they celebrated with chanting 27 Hanuman Chalisas. So that's something this mandir is trying to encourage devotees to do, celebrate with Bhagwan, and thankfully that is happening a little bit. But then it becomes super special because Brahmachari Shri Priyaji is here, and her topic for the talk today is Hanuman Chalisa Decoded, which is absolutely amazing topic, very close to our hearts. I will say a couple of lines to introduce, although I think a lot of people know you. Brahmachari Shri Priya Chaitanya is a resident teacher and Acharya of Chinmaya Mission UK, sharing the vision of Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayanand through talks, study classes, workshops and retreats. Born in Nairobi, Kenya, she was introduced early to Advaita Vedanta through Chinmaya Mission and grew up attending Bal Vihar and CHYK classes in Kenya and the UK. After completing a bachelor's degree in politics at the University of York, she joined Chinmaya Mission's Yuva Veer program and served in Chennai, teaching in Chinmaya Vidyalayas and conducting personality development workshops for college students. She later joined the 2-year residential Vedanta course at Sandipani Sadhanalaya, Powai, and received Brahmacharya Diksha in September 2016 under the guidance of Swami Tejamayanand and Swami Bodhmaananda. Since then, she has been serving full-time as a spiritual teacher in London, communicating the timeless message of Advaita Vedanta to youth and adults through structured courses and talks like this. So we are very, very grateful to Shri Priyaji for coming to this mandir and sharing her endless wisdom with us today. Thank you so much.
Hari Om, Namaste, and a warm welcome to Hanuman Chalisa Decoded. Thank you, Sachinji, for introducing Shri Priyaji. I'll add a few more words about her. Before that, I would like to say that 2026 marks the 75th anniversary for Chinmaya Mission. founded in 1951 by Swami Pujya Chinmayananda. The mission has grown into a global movement with over 350 centers worldwide, dedicated to the inner transformation of the individuals. Through the timeless wisdom of Advaita Vedanta, the mission works to create a more harmonious world by bringing and helping individuals to find clarity and purpose. In the UK, Chinmaya Mission is a vibrant community offering study groups, children's classes, retreats, and more that brings the ancient wisdom of Vedanta to our daily lives. To celebrate our 75th year, Chinmaya Mission has commenced a UK and Europe yatra of 75 events themed on Bhagavad Gita and Hanuman Chalisa, aimed at bringing the life-changing teachings to our doorstep. So today, Sri Priya Ji influences, her influence spans over the globe. She's a regular voice on BBC Radio 4's Prayers for the Day and a global author whose contributions appear in the Women's Seeker. She's also two host podcasts, Living Ramayan, a deep dive into the significance of timeless epic, and The Heroic Fish, where she uncovers the courage behind the success of leaders today. Sri Priya Ji's teachings go far and beyond the lecture hall. She recently took on the London Marathon 2025, running to challenge the stereotypes and prove that mental endurance taught in our scriptures is a living, breathing reality. It is a unique blend of spiritual depth and modern dynamism that makes her expertise sought after by leading global firms, including Barclays, PwC, and Deloitte. Please join me in welcoming her.
We'll start with an invocation. Sahanavavatu, Sahanau Bhunattu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Tu Janakatmaja Purato Maruter Yasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam. Atulita Baladhamam Hemashelabhadeham Danujavana Krishanum Jnaninamagraganyam Sakalaguna Nidhanam Vanaranam Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatam Namami. Can we reduce the echo, please, on the mic?
Unfortunately, speakers behind you, that's the problem.
Just that effect of echo. Can we turn the reverb? Sorry.
Yeah, I know how to do that.
Thank you. Hari Om, everyone. Today's satsang, we have the joy of looking into. Yeah, perfect. We have the joy of thinking about and taking our minds to this universally beloved figure of Hanuman. as we heard in the introduction also, the Hanuman Chalisa is something that is so popular. And it's popular with people of all ages, all around the world, no matter what background we are from. Hanumanji is universally beloved. Even though within the Hindu tradition, sometimes we have not disputes, but everybody likes to carve out their own space. So sometimes we have people who say, I'm from the Vaishnava tradition, and so don't talk to me about Lord Shiva. And some people are from the Shaivite traditions. They say, don't talk to me about Lord Vishnu. But both of them love Hanumanji. Everybody loves Hanumanji. So he is universally beloved. And he is a figure of inspiration to so many. Nowadays, there is this, nowadays means recently, this one category or set of movies has become very popular. And that is films which are about superheroes. So some of you will have seen, some of you may not have seen. But a lot of superhero movies, very popular nowadays. And so everybody is constantly searching for the newest and the best superhero. And we are so lucky that in our tradition we have a ready-made superhero, a ready-made role model for all of us in this beautiful figure of Hanumanji. In the world, we live in this world, and we have a physical presence with our body, with our mind, we think and we feel, and also with our intellect. We think and we exist in this world. We relate to all the different ideas and knowledge. And there is so much that we can do with our body in this world. There are so many places to go. There are so many peaks to scale and oceans to swim and so many incredible physical feats that are possible in this world, including going out of this world and going into space. Sometimes you read stories of human endurance and the types of things that people achieve, and it just sounds mind-blowing, right? People who literally will swim across the ocean. People who will climb not one mountain, but 7 mountains in 1 week. People do incredible things. People also have this amazing capacity for intellectual knowledge. And you hear of people who are geniuses in all the different fields. So through our body, through our mind, through our intellect, so much is possible. But why Hanumanji stands out as an example to all of us is because in spite of the fact that so much is possible to achieve with the body, the very highest action that any of us can perform in this world is an action of seva. And the perfection that is available to us with our mind, which is where we have all of our emotions, all of our feelings. Perfection in the mind expresses in the form of devotion. And the very highest knowledge that is available to us through our intellect is knowledge not of anything in the world. It's not of any particular field of knowledge, not of any science or literature or arts. The very highest knowledge that is available to all of us is self-knowledge, knowledge of the truth. And in all of these three, Hanumanji is perfect. Hanumanji embodies seva, service. Hanumanji embodies devotion. And even though he's not very well known for it, Hanumanji is a perfect man of wisdom, self-realized, who knows the truth, who knows God, who knows his own self. He is so relatable. He is someone who we look at, even when you just look at the picture of Sri Rama, he's standing. And he's standing so straight. And most of the time, if somebody asks you to notice your posture, half of us will be hunched over, sitting like a question mark. So Ramji is standing straight, always has this very gentle smile on his face, always is in perfect, whatever he's doing is perfect. And so he is great to look at as an ideal, but when we look at him and we look at ourselves, it seems like there's a huge ocean between us. Because here is someone who, even when he was being thrown out of his own home and he was exiled for 14 years, all he did was give a gentle smile. Somebody tries to kick me out of the bathroom when I'm having my shower, and how much complaints we have. I'm in the middle of my shower and the next person is knocking at home. Please come out. We have so much difficulty dealing with the smallest challenges like this. And when we look at Hanumanji and we see this monkey-like form who likes jumping around and who is so active and going from place to place, he just feels a lot more relatable. Because when we look at our own mind, it's definitely more monkey-like than it is like a man. If we observe how our mind behaves on a day-to-day basis, our mind is definitely like a monkey. So for all of us, Hanumanji is the ideal. Because he is perfect in every sense, and yet he remains as someone who we can all connect to. And that's why this Hanuman Chalisa also is so popular. The other reason is that everybody has their own personal experience, but there are so many instances where this prayer has brought such relief and brought strength, brought fearlessness, brought success to different people at different stages of life in whatever challenges that they are facing. And of course, when we feel that something is giving us, when it's that source of support and strength and fearlessness, then naturally it becomes something that becomes very dear to our heart, that we love. So this Hanuman Chalisa, it offers us all of that. Hanuman Chalisa because 40 verses. 40 verses, excluding the 2 dohas at the beginning and 1 at the end. 40 verses. And all centered on this beautiful figure of Hanumanji. The Hanuman Chalisa was composed by a saint, Sant Tulsidas. And Tulsidas ji himself is said to, there are different stories. So some stories say that he wrote it when he was in jail, when he was imprisoned. Some stories say that he himself was very unwell. He was facing serious health challenges. And at that time he composed this Hanuman Chalisa. And through that he himself recovered from the illness that he was going through. But regardless of how and why he wrote it, it remains a great source of strength to all who read it. And more than that, even if you think, I'm not sure if I've experienced fearlessness, or have I experienced that real success? Have I experienced that, my illness has been removed? More than any of that, when you sing Hanuman Chalisa, do you not, or do you experience some joy? Do you not just feel good when you sing Hanuman Chalisa?
Absolutely.
At a very minimum, it just makes us feel good. And even in that way, it is a source of great solace and peace to all of us. In that, at least for those few minutes, our mind can experience some joy, some peace. And so even if we don't know the meaning, even if we just sing, this Hanuman Chalisa can be such a great support to us in our life. But knowing the meaning, understanding what it is conveying to us and what we can learn from it, this chant becomes even more powerful. It becomes even more transformative. Because when we sing and we think of Hanumanji, through that repetitive thought, we begin to imbibe everything that we admire about him. And therefore, our life truly gets transformed. So, in the next hour or so, we will try and look into what exactly is this Hanuman Chalisa saying to us. So the Hanuman Chalisa starts with a prayer, and it starts with an invocation of the Guru. Tulsidas Ji says, Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamana Mukura Sudhari Barano Raghuvara Bimala Jasa Jodayaka Phala Chari. That first of all, before beginning, I invoke my Guru. And taking the dust of my Guru's lotus feet to cleanse my mind, I describe the glories of Hanumanji, describing which I attain all four goals of life: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. In other words, by describing the glories of Hanumanji, there is nothing left unattained in this world. So we begin with this invocation of the Guru. And really what this is symbolic of is humility and surrender. Who is it who gains a Guru in life? Who gains access to a teacher? Who gains access to that Guru who destroys all our delusions, who takes away all our grief and all our sorrow? Only when there is some humility in our heart, only when we have some surrender, do we gain access to a Guru. So really, this is what Tulsidas Ji is expressing. And then he says it explicitly. Buddhihina tanujanike sumiro pavanakumar. That even though I have very little intelligence and even physically I am not the best, I remember Hanumanji. And there comes a prayer. If you notice, in this Hanuman Chalisa, there are only 3 places where Tulsidas Ji asks for something. In these 40 verses and in these dohas, in only 3 places, Tulsidas Ji explicitly asks for something. And one is here at the beginning. Here he says, Bala buddhi vidya dehu mohi harahu kalesa vikar. That please give me strength, give me intelligence, and give me knowledge, wisdom. And take away all the impurities of my mind. Give me strength, because to face life, we need to be strong. We need to be physically strong. We need to be mentally strong. And therefore, he says, take away my mental impurities. But along with strength, we also need intelligence. Intelligence without strength doesn't lead to much. And strength without intelligence is dangerous. So Bala, Buddhi and Vidya. And what puts both into context? When we have real wisdom, real knowledge. So having offered this prayer, having made this invocation, Tulsidas Ji begins. And you'll see that there are three distinct sort of themes that he picks up across these 40 verses. And the first part of the Hanuman Chalisa is it's just about Hanumanji. So he begins by saying, Jai Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagar. Victory to Hanuman, who is the ocean of knowledge and guna, means virtues. So Hanuman, this name itself means the one who has a chin. Hanu means chin, and man in Sanskrit means one who has. So I think it's a very funny name to give someone, right? Why is he called someone who has a chin? By that measure, we are all Hanuman. But why Hanumanji is called Hanuman? Because this story comes later in the Chalisa, right? He's called Hanuman actually because his chin got broken. When Hanumanji was a little boy, he was very playful, very mischievous. Some would say naughty. But sometimes we have trouble telling the difference between mischievous and naughty. And sometimes we think that just because somebody has a lot of energy and likes to play, they get this label of naughty. And usually who is it who gives the label of naughty? Is it children or adults? Who says this person is naughty or this child is naughty? Children say or adults say? Adults say. Children never say this boy or this girl is naughty. And when you were all children, at some point or another, somebody described you as naughty or no? Yes? No? Yes. Anybody was never called naughty in their childhood? Everybody at some point was called naughty, right? It's a very misunderstood. I have a lot of sympathy for those children. Hanumanji was not naughty, he was very mischievous. And he had a lot of energy. And like all growing children, he had a big appetite. He liked to eat. And so the story goes is that one day he'd finished having his meal. Still feeling a little bit hungry. And some people, they have a special stomach for sweets. There's a regular stomach for all the regular food, and they have a second stomach for dessert. That stomach always has space. No matter how much food you've eaten in your meal, there's always space for dessert. So Hanumanji wanted something sweet. And so he looks up in the sky and he sees something that looks like to him it looked like a mango. Because really there is no better fruit. And this is not up for discussion. Mango is the best fruit. So he looked up in the sky and he sees, oh, this looks like a mango. And I could really do with something sweet right now. So he jumps and he swallows the sun. In one. He jumps and he swallows the sun. Now, you know what happens once there's no sunlight. Unfortunately, we experience this on a regular basis living in this country. What happens when there's no sunlight?
Very cold.
It's very cold, it's very dark, and everybody is plunged into despair. And if the sun is not there, then everything else gets dysregulated in nature, right? Not just that it's cold and dark, but now nothing else is working. And so the whole universe goes into panic. What's happened to the sun? And so all the devatas, all the heavenly beings who look after the different forces of nature, so Agni who looks after fire, and Vayu who, not Vayu, but all the other devatas, everybody gets worried. What's happened? What's happened? And they find out that this young boy has jumped up and swallowed the sun. And he's not giving it back. So once a child has a toy in the hand, it's very difficult to persuade them to put it down. You generally have to offer something better. Why children? Adults also. We are also the same. And so what happens is Indra, the king of heaven, he takes his thunderbolt and he institutes emergency measures. He throws the thunderbolt and the thunderbolt strikes Hanumanji right on his chin. And so he falls, and of course in that he lets go of the sun returns to its place. And now he's fallen, and so there has to be some reward, right? Because finally he's let go of the sun. So all the devatas come and they say, we'll all bless you. You made a mistake, but it's okay. We'll all give you blessings. So they all bless him individually with each of their particular powers. But they say there's a condition, and there's always a condition. Right? There's always some fine print, some small print. The condition is that you will forget that you have all these powers. Imagine, so he has everything. He has every single power and potential and capability in the universe. But he grows up completely unaware of what he has within him. So they tell him, until the point in your life where you need to use all of these powers, you will remain unaware of them. So because when he jumped up, when he was struck, he hit his chin, therefore he is known as Hanuman. And because then he has all these virtues in him, Tulsidasji calls him Guna Sagar. He is the ocean of virtues. Not only virtues, but also knowledge. Both are so important. Jai Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagar, Jai Kapisa Tihuloka Ujagar. Glory to, victory to you, who is the king of monkeys, which we see later in the story. Your fame is known throughout the whole, your glory spreads throughout the whole 3 worlds. 3 worlds means in every place, wherever you look, somebody has heard of Hanumanji. Even if they don't know how to say Hanuman and they say Hanuman, they still have heard of him. They know who he is. Now, this whole Hanuman Chalisa is a glorification of Hanumanji. But when we sing, and you know at the end of bhajans also, at the end of Hanuman Chalisa, we do Jaykar, right? So we say, Pavana Sutta Hanumana ki Jai, Siyavar Ramachandra ki Jai. Hopefully a bit more enthusiastically when we actually do it. But generally we do Jaykar, right? What does it mean when we are saying, us as individuals, we are saying victory to Sri Ram or victory to Hanuman? Can Hanuman, can the Lord, can Bhagavan, Ishvara, God, ever not be victorious? Can God ever lose? If God is one who is perfect in knowledge, in strength, in all virtues, if God is present everywhere, in all things and in all people and in all places, if God is, to use technical terms, omniscient, omnipotent, etc., all pervading, can God ever lose in any scenario, any instance? So when we say victory to Hanuman, why are we saying victory to Hanuman? I'll put it this way. Have you ever lost in your life? more often than I win, I lose. Some people's story is like this. So why are we saying victory to Hanuman? Hanuman anyway is victorious. What's the point of me saying victory to Hanuman? I can't pass my driving test. It's 6 tries, some people. Some people do that, did you know? So maybe some of you have done it. So 5, 6 times they'll take driving tests. And you wonder, should this person actually have a license? So for us to say victory to Hanuman, what does it mean? Why are we saying Jai Hanuman and Jnana Guna Sagar? What it means is that may Hanuman and everything that he represents, may he be foremost in the world and in my life. May Hanuman and everything that Hanumanji is and represents, may that be victorious over my limitations and my individuality. May Hanumanji be victorious over my negativities. By invoking him, we are asking that he is victorious in our life in that way. And that is not a passive process. That is not just, I will say Jai Hanuman, and suddenly Hanumanji will descend upon me, and all negativities will be flushed out. Like just taking a shower, suddenly something will happen. What it means is, by invoking him, and by thinking of him, and by training and disciplining my mind through invoking him, all of those negativities will get replaced by everything that he represents. And therefore we say, Jai Hanuman and Jnana Guna Sagar. That may his knowledge and his virtues, may all of that come to me. When we say Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, it means that we listen to the Guru, but generally we go home and we live our own life. So when we say Jai, we're saying, may I have that capacity to live what I'm taught. And this is how this Hanuman Chalisa begins. And most of all, why is it that Hanumanji is victorious? Because he is Ramadut. Ramaduta Atulita Baladhama. He is the messenger of Sri Ram. And as the messenger of Sri Ram, he is the one who is the abode of all strength. In order to serve, one must be strong. This is, sometimes we have this misconception that if you can't do anything else in life, then only you should join an ashram and do some seva. If you have some capacity and some strength, then go out in the world, act, achieve. If you can't do anything, then theek hai, chalega, we will send him to ashram. At least he'll occupy some space. But actually to serve requires the most strength. So Hanumanji is the abode of strength. And who is he? He is Anjani Putra, Pavana Sutanama. He is the one who is born of Anjani and Pavan Devata. Who are his parents? His parents are Anjani. Anjani means the one who is or has pure intellect. And Pavan Devata is the god of the wind. So he is one who is born of a pure heart. And as the wind, what does the air do? What does the wind do? Everywhere it flows, the wind purifies. When you're sitting in one room for a while and everything is closed, and after some time it starts to feel stuffy, what do? Open the windows, open the doors. And as soon as you get some fresh air in, you feel so nice, so good. So the wind, the air is constantly moving throughout the world, bringing freshness, bringing purity. And as the son of Vayu Devta, Hanumanji is doing the same. Invoking purity and transforming others so that they also become pure. Anjani Putra Pavana Sutanama. Then Hanumanji is said to have two more fathers. So sometimes people get very confused. The parentage question in relation to Hanumanji is very confusing. Because one, he's said to be the son of Vayu. But then he also later, he said, Shankara Suvana Kesari Nandan. So then how is this? How is he the son of Vayu Devata? Plus he's the son of Shivji. Plus he's the son of Kesari. Three fathers. Having one father is plenty. Why have three? So, the story is that when Sri Ram, or when Vishnu, Mahavishnu was taking avatar as Sri Ram, all the other deities, they thought, if Lord Vishnu is going, we can't just sit around over here. It doesn't look good. Like, the CEO of a company is going on some work trip. Everybody in the office is finally, phew, this week he's out, we can relax a little bit. So Devatas were not like this. They said, if Lord Vishnu is going, we should also go. Plus, if he's going, what are we going to do here? It'll be so boring. So we should also, And he is going as a man. That means we should all go not as men, because we don't want to be equal to him. We want to be in a position to serve him. So he's going as a man, we should all go as monkeys. We should all go as vanaras. So all the different devatas, all the different forms, they all took they all took birth as the vanaras. So Lord, the son of Surya Devata, the sun god became Sugriv. The son of Indra became Vali. So all the different Vanaras are actually born from the Devatas. And so in this way, Vayu Devata came as Hanumanji. But he had to be born through some earthly parents. So his earthly parents are Anjani and Kesari. Kesari means the one who is like a lion, who is brave, who is courageous, who is strong. And, despite this idea that Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu are, I don't know, whatever idea people have, actually, they love each other. They have the closest relationship. And so Lord Shiva saw, Lord Vishnu is going. I also want to go. But if I go and people realize who I am, they might get distracted. So I should not go as someone who is comparable to Lord Ram. I should go as someone who will just, be there. And I can still do seva, but I won't be like he was thinking I would be a main character. Anyway, he ended up becoming main character. So Hanumanji is the Amsha of Shivji. He's considered as an avatar of Shivji. So Hanumanji's parentage is so incredible. What does it mean for us? It means that, like Anjani and Kesari, when we have a pure heart, and in that pure heart, all the virtues of bravery and courage are inculcated, then these qualities of humility and service and devotion are born. And when those virtues are employed in the service of the very highest altar, then the effect that we have in the world is that we purify ourselves And such a devotee brings purity to everybody around them. So such is Hanumanji. And Hanumanji is one who can claim Surya Devata as his guru. Especially after we hear the story of him jumping up to consume Surya Devata, you wonder, how did Surya become Hanumanji's guru? Surely he would be a little bit frightened of him. Maybe that's why he agreed. But no. Surya Devata became Hanumanji's guru. So Hanumanji went and he said, out of everything and everyone in the universe, you shine the brightest. You have all knowledge. I want to learn from you. So Surya Bhagavan said to Hanumanji that the thing is, normally when people want to gain knowledge, they'll go to a teacher, and that teacher and student, they'll sit down in one place, an everyday class will happen, and they'll be able to have, proper course of study. Surya Devata said to Hanumanji, I'm constantly on the move. A story. So how will, because in our Puranas, etc., how Surya Devata is depicted, he rides on a chariot pulled by 7 horses. So he says, I'm constantly on the move. How will you learn from me? I can't turn and face you. I can't sit down anywhere. So you know what Hanumanji said? He said, no problem. You go wherever you need to. I will walk backwards, I will face you, and you just keep teaching me. So for however long this knowledge needs to transfer, I will walk backwards. Hanumanji had very strong hamstrings by the end of his education. Walking backwards is really good for your legs, So Hanumanji gained all this knowledge from Surya Devata, and at the end, always in our tradition, once we've gained knowledge, Hanumanji asked Surya Devata, what dakshina can I give? Okay? What offering can I give you for all this knowledge you've given me? You're not asking me for anything, but what can I offer to you? So Surya Devata said, I don't need anything. And he insisted. Hanumanji said, no, you must tell me what is something that I can give you. So he said, when you grow up, my son is also going to need a lot of help. Who is Surya Devata's son? Sugriv. My son is going to need help. You just help him and consider that your Guru Dakshina. And so that's how Hanumanji ended up in service of Sugriv. So Hanumanji's childhood is full of such adventures. Jumping up to swallow the sun, becoming the disciple of Surya Devata. Such beautiful parentage he has. But the real glory and the reason that we glorify him is not actually because he achieved all of these things by himself. The reason that we glorify him, and this is what is pointed out in this middle section of the Hanuman Chalisa, is because all of what he was and everything that he possessed, all of that was harnessed in service of Lord Ram. And what is the most famous thing that Hanumanji is known for, is known to have done in service of the Lord? What is the one thing that everybody knows Hanumanji did? The most amazing feat.
Found Sita.
He found Sitaji. Right? And how did he do it? By jumping across the ocean.
Yeah.
So when all the monkeys, not just Hanumanji, but after having helped Sugriv, Sugriv then said to Lord Ram that all of my monkeys, they are now in your service. They are in your command. You tell them whatever you need them to do. So they were all sent off in different directions to find Sitaji. And one group of them, they reached the southern tip of the country. And so they all reached the seashore. And they reached the seashore and they realized that we have to cross. Now, have you ever seen monkeys swimming? Have you ever seen monkeys swimming? Because they can't swim.
Mhm.
So they reach the seashore and they realize now we have to cross. How are we going to cross? And so, in this band of monkeys, there is a whole full range. There are some who are little chotu monkeys. And there are some who are a bit bigger. There are some who are like teenagers who, really want to be very fit and strong and bulk up. And so they, I can do this much. And there are some who are mature and older. And so everybody is standing and looking at the ocean. And everybody is thinking, what is my capacity here? So some of the monkeys, they'll say, I can jump a quarter of the way. Very good, then what will you do? I can jump half. Not you, you stay here. So everybody is saying like that. I can jump this much, I can jump that much. Finally, the son of Vali, Angad, he says, I can jump the whole way across. But I'm not sure if I can come back. That also doesn't work. Because once he's gone there and he's found Sitaji, he has to come back. Otherwise, how will they know? How will they know whether or not Sitaji has been found? How will Sri Ram know where to go, where not to go? They say, Angad, you better stay here. And so all of them are saying, I can do this, I can do that. And this whole time, Hanumanji has been sitting very quietly. And the leader of this group is one old, very wise black bear, whose name is Jamvan. Jamvan is letting everybody, state their claim. And finally he looks at Hanuman. And he sees that Hanuman is just patiently waiting. He's just sitting, not saying anything. And Jambavan speaks one sentence to him. And that is the turning point of Hanumanji's journey. And that sentence, if we can apply it to ourselves, if we can see the truth of it in our life, it can be the turning point of our lives also. After that point, there is no turning back for Hanumanji. And whatever he does, whatever he sets out to do, he achieves that and much more. From that point onwards, because of one sentence that he hears from Jamban. It unlocks all doors. Even though this is as a boy, someone who jumped up and swallowed the sun. So you think, anyway, he has no limitation. But hearing these few words, suddenly the potential that is expressed is now infinite. Do you want to know what Jambavan said? Yes. Jambavan says to Hanumanji, Ram kaja lagi tava avatara. You have been born to serve Lord Ram. And as soon as he hears this, Hanumanji becomes as tall and as large as a mountain. And he says, I can do anything. I can jump across the ocean. I can defeat Ravana. I can defeat the whole of Lanka. I will bring Sitaji back right now. Jamban says, listen, it's okay, calm down. You don't need to do all of that. All you need to do is jump across the ocean and go and find Sitaji. What is the secret to bringing out that infinite potential that exists within all of us? The reason that Hanumanji could jump across the ocean, the reason that he could transform the journey of Vibhishana. The reason that he could find Sita ji and achieve the destruction of Lanka. The reason that he could save Lakshman ji's life. He picked up that whole Sanjeevani mountain and brought it back. The reason that in the whole Ramayana, the one person who is praised by Sri Ram is Hanumanji, because he has this clarity that the purpose of my life is to serve. The purpose of my life is to serve not just anything, not just anyone. The purpose of my life is to serve the Lord. And after that, there is nothing that is impossible. There is nothing that he cannot do. What is the reason that why do we think in our life, when we are faced with any task or any challenge, what is the reason that this thought comes, I can't do it? When Arjuna stood on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and he saw his family standing across from him, and he saw his teachers, and he thought, I can't do this. When we are faced with difficulties, whether in our personal life, professional life, whatever it might be, what is the reason that we start to think, I can't do this? What happens in our mind, we form a measure of the challenge. And in that same mind, we have a measure of ourselves, of our abilities, of our knowledge, our strength, our potential. And the reason that that thought comes, I can't, is because when we measure ourselves against that challenge, and remember that measure is in our own mind, we find ourselves falling short. Then we think, I can't do this. If a challenge comes, and I look at my own strength and power and capability, and I think, yes, this is more than enough to face what this challenge is, then the thought that comes is, I can do this. It is our measure of who we are and what we are capable of that determines whether or not we think that we can or we can't. And for us, when we're living our life, we gain a measure of our strength and our knowledge and our potential based on, mostly it's not even something that we've consciously done. Just through our experiences, we gain this vague picture of ourselves. But for someone like Hanumanji, who knows that the purpose of my life is to serve Lord Ram, what is the understanding of a sevaka, of one who is living in service? The understanding is, I am doing his work with his strength and his knowledge and his power. I am doing his work with his strength, his knowledge, and his power. And therefore, for someone who is living in service, this thought will never come, I can't. Because is there any limit to the Lord's knowledge? Is there any limit to the Lord's strength? Is there any limit to the Lord's power? There is none. And therefore a sevaka will never say, this is impossible. Plus, at the end of the day, it's his work, so it's his responsibility to make sure it happens. I just have to make sure I'm available. Whatever he wants me to do, he'll make it happen through me. So Hanumanji, Tulsidas ji describes, Prabhu Mudrika Meli Mukha Mahi, Jalid Hilangi Gai, Acharachanahi. In the previous chopai, he says that when you were a child, you jumped up to swallow the sun. And therefore, to jump across the ocean, you did it in a second. But how did you do it? That's the most important thing. How did he do it? Prabhu Mudrika Meli Mukha Mahi. When Hanumanji jumped across the ocean, he did it carrying Sri Ram's ring in his mouth. Because he had to take that to Sitaji, right? Otherwise, how will Sitaji, she's never met him before, how does she know that this has come from Lord Ram? It could be just could be anyone. So Ramji had given Hanumanji that ring. And on that ring was inscribed Ram Nam. The name of the Lord was inscribed on that ring. And so keeping it in his mouth, because he doesn't have pockets, doesn't have a bag, Hanumanji travels light, keeps it in his mouth, and he jumps. So what does it mean? We should always put some piece of jewelry in our mouth and wander around. And Ram Nam is there. And what does it mean? It means that he crosses whatever challenge. How he crossed the ocean actually is representative of this entire samsara, this life, this world. How to cross it? How does a sevaka, how does a devotee cross this life? With the name of the Lord in the mouth. With that constant repetition of the name of the Lord. Once that remembrance stops, then we lose that connection to the Lord's strength and the Lord's knowledge, his power. But as long as we remain connected, we remain available to serve. And that means nothing is impossible. So with the name of the Lord in his mouth, Hanumanji crosses the ocean. Having crossed the ocean, there he meets Vibhishana. And because of Hanumanji, Vibhishana's whole trajectory is changed. Tumaro mantra Vibhishana mana Lankeshwara bhaya Saba Jagajana. Tulsidas Ji says actually because of Hanumanji, Vibhishana is crowned king of Lanka after the whole battle is over. First is when he goes to Lanka, Vibhishan meets Hanumanji. And he says that you are not alone. Don't believe that you are alone. I have come here as a messenger, as a representative of Lord Ram. And you know, for someone who is feeling that I don't have anybody around, to hear that this is somebody familiar, it feels so good. It's like when you go to a completely foreign country and you don't see anybody who you feel is like you. And then suddenly you're walking down a street and you hear one sentence spoken in Hindi or in whatever, Tamil or in Gujarati. How relieved you feel. Wow, somebody is there. This is not a completely foreign country. Vibhishana was feeling, I'm all alone. There is nobody here who believes in the Lord. There is no one who loves Lord Ram. I'm completely alone. And at that moment, Hanumanji appears. And when Vibhishana finally leaves the court of Ravana and says, I'm going to Ram, and he arrives at Sri Rama's place, everybody is so suspicious that this is Ravana's brother and you're just letting him walk in. The enemy's brother, and you're just letting him walk into our camp. He could be a spy, he could be sending information back. How are you being so trusting? Everybody advises Lord Ram, don't let him in. Lord Ram anyway sees into the heart of everyone. So he knows what's in Vibhishana's mind. But Lord Ram at that moment looks at Hanumanji. And Hanumanji says, Bhagwan, I think you should give him a chance. And because of that, Vibhishana is allowed to come to meet Sri Ram. And his desire is also fulfilled. After the war, he becomes king of Lanka. Hanumanji finds Sita ji in the middle of this hostile territory. And almost as an afterthought, right? He's gone there to find Sita ji. Then what happens? He finds Sita ji. He gives her the ring. She is so relieved. And after his work is done, after you've worked very hard, naturally what happens? You start feeling hungry. After you do work, you feel hungry, right? So he says to Sita ji, I'm feeling hungry. So he goes to Sita ji. How does he go? Sukshma Rupa Dhari Siyahi Dikhava. So he goes to Sita ji in his very small, gentle roop so that she won't be frightened. And then he says, I'm hungry. So she says, I think there are some fruit trees. You go and see. Maybe you can eat something there. But only eat what's fallen on the ground. Mother is very compassionate. She'll say, don't pluck fruit and all. So Hanumanji is very smart. He says, she said not to pluck fruit, but I can pluck the tree, no? He starts uprooting the trees. So picking up the trees. Naturally, now if you start picking up trees, then everybody notices. All the Rakshasas come. Then Bhima Rupa Dhari Asura Samhare. Right? Ramachandra ke Kaj Savare. So he takes this huge form and defeats all the Asuras. Then he allows himself to be captured and he's taken to the court of Ravana. And there Ravana has this very cruel idea that monkeys are most attached to their tails. So nowadays also monkeys in the form of human ladies are very attached to their tails. The hair is most. And men are attached to tails. Sometimes become external, becomes like the car and the this and the that. They have their external measure of. Anyway, that's a different topic. Okay, so Hanumanji goes to Ravana's court and his tail is bound and dipped in oil and set on fire. And that Hanumanji, who has grown so big, his tail also grows long and long and long and long. And now he thinks, I can play. What shall I play? I will play tag. Nobody else wants to play my game. Nobody else wants to participate with me, but I can still play by myself. So he jumps from house to house to house, and the entire Lanka gets burnt. So taking all these different forms. Now again, in the service of the Lord, in the service of a higher ideal, in the service of something that we have real conviction in, we will always find the flexibility to fulfill whatever task is in front of us. If we need to be small, we'll be small. If we need to be big, we'll be big. If we need to be fierce, we'll be fierce. That flexibility comes from knowing that the work I'm doing is for the greatest purpose. Otherwise, we get very stuck. No, I am like this. I am very good at spreadsheets. So if somebody asks me to do seva, I will say I'm good at spreadsheets. I don't need you to do spreadsheets. I need you to design a flyer. No, I'm good at spreadsheets. But somebody who is of a seva mindset, that person will find the flexibility to do whatever is required. Whatever is required. And this, there is no better example in our life than our Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayanandaji. In his life, he did everything. From physical, menial labor, to accounts, to generating funds, to establishing more than 100 schools. Do you know how much it takes for one person to establish one school in their lifetime? How much work goes into it? How many schools got established under Pujya Gurudev's leadership? More than 100. Hospitals, nursing institute, rural development organization. All of this happened in the lifespan of one person, one man. And all the while, it's not that this was his only job, that his job was to make schools and do this. And his whole time was spent in traveling around the world to share this knowledge, living this knowledge. There was nothing that he did not do. There was nothing that he could not do. And every work that he did, he called Narayana Seva. Because everything he saw, this is in service of the Lord, and therefore nothing is impossible. So for us to unlock our potential, what is required? What does Hanumanji show us? All we need to do is we need to find an ideal. What to find an ideal? Actually, the ideal is there, but we need to connect with that ideal. And by giving our lives in service of that, there is nothing that is impossible. So now, Hanumanji, we've heard his story, and we've heard how Sri Ram also loves him so much, because he does all of this. He finds Sitaji, he comes back. During the war also, it is said that throughout Sri Rama's life, even when Sitaji was kidnapped, his grieving and his crying, it was really only to demonstrate a point. Really, when Sitaji was kidnapped, Sri Ram was not actually grieving. He was showing that when you're very attached and the thing you're attached to gets taken away from you, what happens? The only time when Sri Ram is affected by what happens is during the war, when Lakshman is struck by an arrow. And Lakshman falls unconscious. And at that time, Sri Rama says that I cannot continue if Lakshman dies. And who is the only one capable at that moment of resolving that situation? Again, it comes down to Hanumanji. Even if he doesn't know what the exact herb is, no problem. I'll just bring the whole mountain. And he comes back, and Lakshmanji's life is saved. And at that moment, Sri Ram embraces him. Laya sajivana lakhana jiyai. Shri Raghuvira harashi utalai. Raghupati kini bahuta badhaye, tuma mama priya bharata hi samabhaye. It was said that Bharat was so dear to Sri Ram. That was one relationship where they loved each other the most, but talked about it the least. You know, in life nowadays, especially this sentence, we are always saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. And 2-3 generations ago, nobody ever said. Nowadays, all the children, it's not a bad thing. Just not something that we're used to. Anyway, Ramji and Bharatji loved each other most, but talked about it the least. And when Hanumanji revives Lakshman, or he brings the medicine for the doctor to revive Lakshman, Ramji says to him, you are as dear to me as Bharat. So all of this Hanumanji does, and his love is more than reciprocated by Bhagwan. He is so dear to the Lord through his service, through his devotion, through his humility. He becomes most beloved of Sri Ram. You think, okay, that's great for them. Very nice. Hanumanji and Sri Ram had a great relationship. What about us? So in the last third of the Hanuman Chalisa, Tulsidas Ji points out to us what are all the different ways in which Hanumanji can help us. how is it that we can lift ourselves through remembrance of him? And so many things are said. That the most famous line is given that when you chant the Hanuman Chalisa, you remember Hanumanji then. Bhuta pisacha nikata nahi aave, Mahavira jaba nama sunave. That when the name of Mahavir is heard, all Bhut Pisach means, literally it means ghosts and ill spirits. But what it means is, what do those things cause in, what is the thought of a ghost or a spirit cause in the mind? It brings fear, it brings anxiety. And the remembrance of Hanuman is that which dispels all fear, all anxiety. All fear is removed by remembering Hanumanji. Because there is no challenge that he has not overcome. And when we remember Hanumanji, that strength that we invoke by remembering him, that strength comes to us. That reassurance is brought to our mind. That if Hanumanji could do so much, and I can invoke him, by invoking him, I am also protected. Not only that, but Tulsidas ji says, Saba sukha lahe tumhari sharana, tuma rakshaka kahu ko darna. That if you are there to protect us, what is there to fear? And most importantly, all joys, Saba sukha lahe tumhari sharana. All joys take refuge with Hanumanji. All those joys that we are running after, we are chasing, they are running to Hanumanji, and we are running after them. So what is the sensible thing to do? If what we are seeking is seeking something else, then where do you go? You go straight to the one who's being sought. Right? If I am running to A and A is running to B, then where should I go? I should go straight to B, the most sensible. B means Bhagwan. Go straight to Bhagwan. Saba sukha lahe tumhari sharna. We have all these ideas that, I'll do this in the world, and then I'll go here, and then I will buy this thing, and then this will make me happy. And that happiness itself, that happiness is to be found at the feet of the Lord. That happiness is offering itself to Bhagwan. And you'll find this, you'll see this in life also, that when there is someone who is chasing something really desperately, often it feels that that thing is just always just out of their reach. And the second I turn around and I say, I'm not interested, 10 will come to me. Have you ever experienced this? 10 types of things or 10 of those things will come. The second I say, actually, it's okay if I don't get it, then everything will come. But when we are so desperately insistent that I want this and I want this alone, that insistence itself, that becomes an obstacle to our attainment. That thought that I need this, I need to achieve it, I need to procure it, I need to attain it, that thought itself becomes the distance between us and our achievement. And as soon as we let go, it's ours. So what is it for the sake of which we can let go of our insistence in the world that I need this or I need that? I need this object with me. I need this person with me. I need this status and position. I need this person. Is there anything? This we have to ask ourselves. Is there anything for the sake of which I can let go of that insistence. Is there anything for the sake of which I am ready to give up my dependence on all of those other things and just say, I can be happy with or without? In a devotee's life, in a sevaka's life, that is their altar of devotion, of seva. For Hanumanji, that is Lord Ram. And for those who worship Hanumanji, it is him. He is the one who all joys take refuge at the feet of. Finally, Tulsidas ji says, Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai Kripa Karahu Gurudeva Kina. This is the second prayer in the Hanuman Chalisa. What was the first one? Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kalesa Vikar. This is the second one. Second one is Kripa Karahu Gurudeva Kinai. Be compassionate to me. And how compassionate? Be compassionate like my Guru. Because in our lives, there is no one who is as compassionate to us as a Guru is. Because the Guru loves completely unconditionally, completely selflessly. Everyone else in our life, as much as we feel they love us, and as much as we also feel, I love this person and I love them selflessly, there is some self-interest always. The Guru is the only one who loves with no self-interest. And so what he wants to say is, be infinitely compassionate to me. And therefore he says, be as compassionate as our Guru. If we look at ourselves, or even in the eyes of any other person, and we look at how qualified we are for the knowledge that the Guru gives, we will find our qualifications at maybe 10%, maybe 15%. And yet still this knowledge comes to us. That is the compassion of the Guru. So he says, Kripa Karahu Gurudeva Kinai. And finally, so many other things are said, but our time is also limited. The final prayer that Hanumanji offers, that Tulsidas ji offers to Hanumanji, is in the final doha, where he says, Rama Lakhana Sita Sahita Hridaya Basahu Surabhu. That after all of this glorification and this remembrance of who you are and everything that you do, even in spite of having said at the beginning, Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kalesa Vikar, the one thing that is asked at the end, and that is the means to everything. Finally, he says that along with Sri Ram, along with Sita ji, along with Lakshman, Hridaya Basahu Surabhu. May you reside in my heart, may you live in my heart, you who are the Lord of the earth. Yes, you are Bhagavan. This is the final prayer. Because if the Lord is in our heart, then what else do we need? Not if. He is there. All we have to do is remember. That source of knowledge, that source of inspiration, that source of all strength is already there with us. All we have to do is invoke it. How do we invoke it? So you have to go back to the beginning and you have to sing the whole Hanuman Chalisa. Then that invocation happens. And everything that we need, that comes to us. And we all of us, we have the opportunity to live a life of inspiration, of devotion, of humility, of service, following in his footsteps. And through that, we also live a life of fulfillment. We'll conclude with just closing prayers. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sargamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. I'm going to announce it. Just explain what it is. It's just it. Is it working? So there'll be some announcements, so please just stay seated for a few minutes. And before that, we have just a very short 3-minute video for those of you who are unfamiliar, which is like an introduction or an overview of what Chinmay Mission is and all the work that Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayanandaji has done or did in his lifetime that has taken place over the past 75 years and continues to take place.
Thank you so much, Sri Priyaji, for this amazing talk. I've been blessed. This is my third talk this weekend, and I think this is the most blessed weekend. So thank you so much. I would like to thank the Houston Temple for hosting us and all their trustees and volunteers for their partnership and collaboration in spreading this knowledge. In addition to this event, they have hosted Sri Priyaji before as well, so thank you very much. I would like to welcome one of our trustees, Sri Rupeshji. Oh, Sri Priyaji, okay. Would you like to accept a little token from Sri Priyaji, please? Thank you.
Thank you. This is not necessary at all.
We hope you felt the profound wisdom and vibrant spirit of this event. But as they say, the journey doesn't end here, and we have an exciting lineup of events designed to deepen the spiritual exploration and connect with our communities. The glory of Hanuman Talks, we are honored to host Pujya Swami Swarupananda, Global Head of Chinmaya Mission, for a 2-day series of talks titled The Glory of Hanuman. Swamiji will unveil the profound secrets hidden within the 40 sacred verses of Hanuman Chalisa, an opportunity to experience transformative insights, understand the essence of devotion, and unlock the power of divine within. Don't miss this chance to learn from a living master. Hanuman Chalisa Havan. Following these talks, we invite you to take part in the Grand Hanuman Chalisa Havan. Imagine 108 Havan Kunds glowing brightly as we collectively recite 21 Hanuman Chalisas. The powerful ceremony of offerings into the sacred fire will be an act of devotion conducted for the peace, prosperity, and well-being of all. Ganga Aarti at the Thames. We are also very excited to announce a very special Ganga Aarti, a sacred ceremony of lights right in London at Thames. This unique event will be an expression of our culture, an invitation to unity and demonstration of the respect and reverence we hold for nature and our precious rivers. We warmly invite all communities and backgrounds to join us in this inclusive celebration of light and culture. Introductory courses. This event and our yatra is about more than just visiting. It's about building lasting connections within our communities. We understand the growing demand to explore the foundation principles and practices of Sanatan Dharma, especially for the youth. That's why I'm excited to announce that Chinmaya Mission UK will be offering enriching online introductory courses throughout the year. This include Introduction to Vedanta, explore the tireless wisdom that underpins our spiritual heritage, Introduction to Hinduism, gain a clear and comprehensive understanding of the ancient way of life. Both courses are designed for 6 weeks and will run multiple times throughout 2026. This is your chance to empower yourself, deepen your understanding, and embark on a transformative journey. Registrations to keep up with all the events this year, please register at www.chinmayauk.org/cm75. For further information about our regular study classes for adults, youth, teenagers, and children, please do also visit our website, which is chinmayauk.org. Make sure to connect with us, join our community, and we are really looking forward to seeing you all at these inspiring events throughout the year. Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you so much, Sri Priyaji, for coming here and delivering such a beautiful, insightful talk about Hanuman Chalisa, which we love in this mandir, and you decoded it, as you said, in the title of the talk, with some beautiful stories and how it practically applies to our day-to-day lives and how we can use it to unlock our individual hidden potentials that we all have with our own bodies and minds. So it's truly empowering, I think, for everyone who heard the talk. So please give her another big. at such a young age, you have acquired, ability to articulate such complex principles into such simple and easy to understand, implement in our day-to-day lives, and that's what we really need. You are taking your Guru Parampara forward, which is truly exemplary, as we all are in our, in this mandir. That's what we aspire to do as well. And that's why I think the work that Chinmay Mission is doing and the work that this mandir is doing is very, very complementary. This mandir summarizes our mission in 3 words: Bhakti, Seva, and Vidya. Those are the 3 words that we try to, do our little bit through. And it actually comes from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga, right? That's what Bhagavad Gita is all about. And we summarized our mission in those 3 words. And in this year, 2026, this is the 4th year of this mandir. This mandir was established in 2022, Janmashtami, 19th August. So we'll be completing 4 years. And this year we have specially, as part of our annual thinking and acting, we reflect on the whole year. And this year we said that we really want to make this year of the Vidya, the learning. And that's why your talk is so important. And of course it's important anyway, but it just aligns so beautifully with everything we're trying to do in 2026. And we honored to have you again whenever your time and diary permits. Right? It's a great year to celebrate 75 years of Chinmay Mission. Some amazing work there in the video that we saw. So, we just love to have more of these talks. So this mandir is your mandir as much as everyone else's. So please do come again. And I also wanted to share that we, apart from these amazing talks, which you will constantly hear about in mandir communications, there are also some other significant events coming up. 31st of January. In the spirit of Year of the Vidya 2026, we are doing the Pran Pratishtha of Ma Saraswati. Vasant Panchami was just yesterday. This mandir was packed yesterday evening with devotees. We did Ma Saraswati Puja, Pushpanjali, Aarti, Bhajans, everything. And a lot of kids did their Vidya Arambam here as well in the temple. And today in the morning, there was an Acharya, Nikunj Janiji, who had come from Vadodara, from Gujarat. And he was telling us that the Vasant Panchami time was up until 3 p.m. today. So which was great. So in some sense it's today as well, started yesterday, and some of these tithis go across 2 days, right? So today is also the day of Ma Saraswati. And 31st of January, we are actually welcoming Ma Saraswati, the most important personality to our mission, to this mandir. There will be a murti that we will be doing Pran Pratishtha. So please do join if you can on 31st of January. And it will be a beautiful day. It's a day long. We are going from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the evening. The whole day is a festival, a celebration of knowledge, learning, Ma Saraswati. So please do if you can. 15th of February, we will be celebrating Mahashivratri in the mandir. Again, a full day festival, as Shri Priyaji said about Shaivyaks and Vaishnavas, but there is no real fight, there is no difference. We celebrate every deity in this mandir, all inclusive. So 15th of February, whole day, Mahashivratri celebration. There will be Rudrabhishek here, there will be Jalabhishek for every devotee will have a chance to come. So please do join if you can. Those are the, and the other date is 1st of February, Thai Pusan, is a very important day for Lord Skanda, Lord Kartikeya. Lord Kartikeya is here in the mandir as well. That is the day Ma Parvati gave the veil to Skand Maharaj. So we are celebrating that as well. There is a puja between 3 and 5 p.m. on 1st of February. So please do come if you can. Those are the little announcements I wanted to share with everyone. And once again, thank you, Sri Priyaji. Thank you so much for coming.
You want to announce the Prasad?
Thank you very much. Lovely to see you all. Could I just ask, as a show of hands, is this your first time? Who's heard of Chinmay Mission before, or is this your first experience with Chinmay Mission? Could you put your hands up if this is your first time? Lovely. It's very nice to see so many new faces as well, and it's brilliant to come to your beautiful temple in Coulsdon. As Priti said, we've had a lovely weekend of talks in South London. As you leave this evening, there'll be a beautiful Prasad Pustika that is handed out. So please do take that on explaining in detail the 40 verses of the Hanuman Chalisa. So please don't leave without that Prasad. We also have some books from our ashram here for sale. If anybody does want to have a look at them, then you can take a look there. Thank you very much and hurry on.
Some fruits being given
And
here.
some fruit Prasad. Sorry, thank you.
You're giving it there.
Krishnanji, can you look after the fruit?
Yeah, I'll look at it.
Just at the front.
Okay. No, give it to everybody first.
Thank you.
Nice to be back here. We were just remembering when we
Yes, that would be lovely.
Excuse me, before you go, can we have a group photo, please, everyone? Vishnu Priyaji, all of us, if you don't mind. People going out, please just come back for a group photo if you don't mind, all of us who are here. It'll be a nice memory of the talk today.
Maybe we can just sit down.
Sit down.
And someone could stand in the corner.
Yeah.
Everyone sits like around here.
Yeah. If you can sit down on the cushions, or wherever you are seated, wherever you feel comfortable to be seated, and we will take a picture. We'll try. Yeah. Are you? Anna? Better? Swati, sit down. Can you get everyone to sit, please?
I can sit over there.
With a chair. We can put a chair in the middle.
Yeah.
And then we can have the rest of
I think we might
Yeah.
need to take it from an angle because otherwise, if someone stands here, then we can.
Yeah.